Now on CoastTV News.
Paying to park in a new place in Ocean City, what this proposal means for locals and visitors.
The unexpected fallout for a Milton woman as her peach trees are removed. The battle behind property rights.
A local teen's soccer aspirations go global, the dreams and hurdles ahead.
Fenwick Island tackles pedestrian safety, the plans to make streets safer for everybody.
This is CoastTV News at 6.
The park in Ocean City may be open soon, but you might have to pay to play. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our News at 6. We begin tonight with Ocean City, where they are considering adding more metered parking spots.
These parking meters would be placed on 3rd and 4th Street, right where that brand new recreational complex will be. Coast TV News reporter Kevin Zapay shows us why the town thinks it's a good idea, but drivers aren't convinced.
Paying to park at the park, not so popular here in Ocean City.
So you bring the children here and you rob the parents. It just doesn't work out. Free, this country can afford it.
Ocean City's town council is considering adding metered parking on 3rd and 4th Street between St. Louis Avenue and the Bay, at what will have a playground, pickleball courts, and more. Ed Schilling says it makes sense.
I also understand where generating revenue, especially in season, it does make sense.
Recreation and Parks Committee says metered spots keep people from leaving their cars there for too long. That in turn leaves less spaces for park goers. But Deborah Prelowitz, who owns 2 rooms at the Blue Lagoon, says adding parking meters could be a problem for her business.
If it does become a problem as far as people have to pay to stay at Blue Lagoon if they don't have a spot in the back, that would be a huge problem. So I would actually consider selling.
I also spoke with some fishermen who come here to fish for free, but say that would be taken away if they have to pay to park every time.
The ordinance is now going into its second reading, where the Ocean City Council will discuss further on whether or not to add parking meters to 3rd and 4th Street. I'm Kevin Zapay in Ocean City, Coast TV News.
Now here's a breakdown of some hourly parking throughout Ocean City. At the inlet parking lot, now until May 23rd, it's free Monday through Thursday. On weekends, though, it costs $3 an hour. After May 24th, the daily rate will increase to $3.50 until September 30th. Now on street and municipal lots, it's free to park throughout the week, but it's $2 on the weekends. During the summer season, hourly parking costs are $3 an hour.
Fenwick Island, like a lot of coastal towns, is looking to tackle safety, specifically for its pedestrians. It's been an ongoing discussion for years. In the newsroom is Coast TV News anchor Mallory Metzner. That topic took shape in one town committee meeting today, Mallory.
Charlie, the Pedestrian Safety Committee met today. Route 1 is the only road that stretches from one end of Fenwick Island to the other. It's about 2 miles from the Chamber of Commerce to the last street before the Maryland state line. So safety on this road is top of mind. According to the committee, 33,000 cars drove through Fenwick in February, and it was 55,000 in March. The committee is sounding the alarm about drivers making illegal U-turns over crosswalks and towards oncoming traffic. The committee says DelDOT was in town recently, looking into improvements that have been discussed since before 2020. According to Mayor Natalie Magdeburger, the agency price-pointed moving a crosswalk at $75,000 and said the town would need to commit to paying for the project.
It's right in front of town hall and they do it. And then if there isn't an officer there, as soon as they move away from it, the next 10 people do a U-turn. And if they don't do U-turn, then they turn into one of our parking lots, which is just as dangerous because our parking lots are full of pedestrians.
Nothing was voted on. This was just a discussion. The Pedestrian Safety Committee decided to schedule its next meeting for May 14th at 2 p.m. Maddie, Charlie.
Thank you, Mallory. Speaking of traffic, people here in Milton will soon have a chance to have all their traffic-related questions answered. Tomorrow, there will be a Q&A session with DelDOT at a town council workshop. DelDOT will answer questions about transportation and other traffic-related topics for town. That's tomorrow, 6:30 at the Milton Library.
Here on the coast, South Bethany is continuing its work on canal waters. The Canal Water Quality Committee says they've had high levels of algae in the canals, and they say that's due to the large amount of nutrients in the water. The town says that nutrients flow into the canals from runoff from sources like Coastal Highway and from homes even. The committee says homeowners can help battle the issue by trimming all vegetation that hangs over the canals and minimizing fertilizer use near the canals. Next Monday, the committee will be providing an update on an agreement for season canal cleaning.
A big topic for Rehoboth Beach is water quality, and hydrant flushing is currently happening. Well, what does that mean exactly? Mineral deposits will be flushed out of the pipes. Hydrants have been flushed from Wilmington to Laurel, and today, Newcastle to Prospect Street. Streets from Maryland to Grenoble will be flushed tomorrow. Now, people in those areas, you might have low water pressure or discolored water during that time.
Let's go ahead and take a live look outside right now into the Ocean City area. You can see the sun up there in the left corner of the screen. Our First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams joining us. Paul, pretty nice day today.
I mean, it was absolutely gorgeous. Now, it wasn't record-breaking warmth, but it was well above the norm for this time of the year. Our Bay Health camera showing that we have scattered clouds in place for us in Milford. And our expectations that we're going to stay in the 60s, but we'll go to the lower 60s for this evening. By 10 o'clock, we'll have partly cloudy skies with the wind staying relatively light at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Overall, we still have an active coastal flood advisory that's in effect for all of Sussex, particularly for those communities that are along the shore, any waterways or bayside areas. Dewey Beach, Long Neck, going into Ocean View in those areas for sure, and going into Millsboro, where we have possibly some elevation concerns there. We also have a gale wind watch. Now, this is a little bit new, and it's not the same as a small craft advisory, which we tend to pass along to you a lot. This is actually talking about 35 mile per hour wind, so it's more in the way of gusty winds. This is going to stay in effect until Friday at 6 o'clock. So look for very gusty winds for Thursday going into Friday as a result of that. But as far as the coastal flood advisories are concerned, it's really more so about the possibility of this being an associated or in tandem with the tides, higher and low tides. So you take a look at our day part forecast. We're looking for temperatures to stay in the 70s. And by the way, if you need a forecast, you can always call us at 443-880-9100, sponsored by Baird, Mandalas, Brockstedt, and Federico.
Paul, we first reported this story last month when neighbors in the Hunter's Mill development said their beloved trees were being taken down. Since Terry Morrison's trees were finally cut down this morning, Delmarva Power has told her that they're going to replace her peach trees out of the path of the power lines. However, seeing the beloved trees come down, that gave her so much, it was upsetting.
And I'm feeling the pain right now because I don't know how to explain to the animals and to the trees what's going to happen to them.
Several other neighbors in Hunter's Mill still await the removal of their trees in their yard. And this brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know who should determine when tree removal needs to be done when tree conflicts with power lines.
Let's take a look at the updated results. At 5 o'clock, a large majority said the power companies, and even more so now. This seems like a pretty strong majority saying that really depends on the power company there. But we are going to run this poll through the evening.
We will, and it's easy to go be a part of this poll. CoastTV.com, simplest way to do things, or that mobile app you have on your phone. Here's something to make note of if you live in Sussex County. The Social Security office on Old Vine Boulevard in Lewis, it's relocating to Georgetown. Starting on April 15th, this is where the new office will be. It will be at the Georgetown Plaza off Route 9. The Rehoboth Beach, Dewey Beach Chamber of Commerce says that services at the current location in Lewis will be available only by appointment, and that's through 4 p.m. this Friday.
Let's look at some news across Delmarva. Today, the Delaware State Housing Authority announced $100,000 in funding awarded to the Eviction Defense Project. Advocates say the funding will support housing stability for low-income and at-risk renters. The award is funded by the Emergency Rental Assistance Program, which the U.S. Treasury allocated to Delaware in 2021. If you wanted tickets to the inaugural Country Calling Music Festival in OC, don't giddy up just yet, because festival organizers say tickets are now officially sold out. They say if you're still hoping to get tickets, you can sign up for a wait list on their website in case that inventory becomes available. Country Calling will have over 25 artists and 3 stages over 2 days.
Over in Seaford, if you're planning on voting in the upcoming municipal election that's scheduled for April 20th, and if you're planning on doing that through absentee ballot, you're going to want to make note of this. The city says the ballots are now available. Deadline to request ballots is by noon, April 19th. The absentee ballots have to be returned to the City Hall before those polls close on Election Day by 3 p.m.
Check your tickets. A $1 million Powerball ticket that was sold at a Wawa just off of Route 1. Check this out. Here's the Wawa from above from our Coast Copter. This is the Wawa on Veterans Way in Rehoboth Beach. If you're not familiar with it, it's the one near Fresh Market and Jungle Gyms. Now, that Wawa will get $10,000 for selling the big winner. And get this, a $50,000 ticket was sold down the street at the Wawa on Wolf Neck Road. We have a lot more news to get to, though, this evening.
Still to come, the Shorebirds play their home opener in Salisbury. See who's primed to make an impact in front of the Purdue faithful.
And we actually had lows starting off in the 40s, but we really built our way to some crazy warmth. But we could see some strong storms headed our direction.
Just a second opportunity for a local team to travel overseas for soccer training and more. How the opportunity could transform her life. We're back in just 60 seconds.
When choosing windows and doors for your home, at Pella, it's your choice. We manufacture maintenance-free vinyl, fiberglass, and wood-clad windows and patio doors, all with lifetime warranties. High performance, energy efficient, and loaded with options to help make your house your home. Industry-first features and benefits make living easier and increase your home's value. Visit our Experience Center or call us today to schedule your free in-home consultation where we bring the showroom to you.
When you smoke inside, you're not the only one who inhales. Secondhand smoke causes cancer and heart disease in adults, and respiratory problems in children, and SIDS in infants. If you smoke or vape, take it outside.
This is Coast TV News at 6.
A huge honor. A teenager from Georgetown has been invited to travel overseas for soccer training. But this year, she also received an invitation to explore a university that's recruiting her to play soccer.
Telemundo Del Marva and Coast TV News reporter Ana Sofia Roman shows us what this opportunity means for this local athlete.
17-year-old Natalie Robledo Chavez is thrilled about her second chance to train at the Juventus Academy, a soccer camp put on by a professional team in Italy for 2 weeks. She told Coast TV News that last year's training emphasized the importance of mental strength and introduced her to new techniques she now practices here at home.
My experience is really amazing. It was a really new culture and environment, and being able to go there was really, really dreamlike because I've never been to another country, especially for football too.
These achievements of Rolero Chavez are a source of pride for her family as they show the sacrifice that everyone has made since she started playing soccer when she was 9 years old.
Well, it has not been easy. It has been quite a process because we have had to travel sometimes 45 minutes to an hour for her trainings. But with God's help, everything is done, and we are still in that fight for her, and those blessings also that we have received from her.
This year, Robledo Chavez has also been invited to England, a trip that could also shape her future soccer career.
It consists of looking at the college there, which is called the University of Central Lancashire, and we're gonna get to see the place, tour it, and also just look at the soccer program because they will be recruiting me, and it's probably the first one, and so I'm really excited about that.
Taking her skills and passion to the other side of the world. In Georgetown, Ana Sofia Roman, Coast TV News.
That is awesome. And Robledo Chavez is expected to leave for Italy on June 29th. You said, Charlie, it's a really big deal, right?
Yeah, Juventus is the club that she'll be going through her training with, and they're a very big team. For more on her story, visit our website, coasttvnews.com.
Thanks to the high tides, it looks like coastal flood advisors have been activated once again in our area. I'll update you when we return.
Are you serious about entertaining and cooking outdoors, but don't know where to start? Let Pemberton Appliance design the outdoor kitchen and bar area you've been dreaming of with their free design software. From grilling burgers, smoking ribs, and cooking pizzas right there in your backyard.
We can install in as little as 2 days so that you can enjoy this season.
Right now, the first 10 clients that purchase an outdoor kitchen will receive $500 off and free gas for a year. Pemberton Appliance, celebrating 20 years in business.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Enjoy 10 songs in a row. Sponsored by Pohanga Kia of Salisbury.
I'm a public school teacher. I know lots of people said, I can do that. Come and try it for a day.
A lot of our challenges are funding.
Teachers often go in their own pocket to make sure students have backpacks, pencils. David Trone, that's pushed for more public school funding and public school teachers.
And it's so great to have someone at the national level that's going to be on our side.
David Trone's always supported teachers. Now Maryland teachers have overwhelmingly endorsed David.
David would definitely get an A+.
I'm David Trone, and I approve this message.
Spring is here, and your home to-do list is getting longer. Don't stress. Horizon Services has you covered 24/7 with cooling and plumbing solutions to fit any budget. From minor upgrades to major repairs, no matter your home's needs, we get it done and get it done right the first time. Now's the time to avoid costly breakdowns and breathe easier by calling our certified technicians to inspect your system and remove built-up dust, pollen, and dander, ensuring it runs efficiently. Schedule your spring AC tune-up today.
Next Jeopardy! Amy and Victoria have 1 win apiece. Don't count out Andrew Heath.
Could this be the deciding game?
Tuesday at 7:30 on CoastTV.
Right now, pet dander, skin cells, mold spores, pollen, and dirt are being sucked into your air ducts. Get cleaner air and system efficiency now with Stanley Steamer. For over 75 years, we've continually engineered our equipment and processes to deep clean your entire home. Your air ducts aren't clean until they're Stanley Steamer clean.
We're Coast Country, and we're Delmarva proud.
The warmth that we experienced today was a nice change of pace. Wasn't worried about any stormy weather or anything like that. Well, that luck is going to run out pretty quickly because we're going to be bracing for a chance of scattered showers. And on Thursday, could get a little dicey as well. I'll explain that in more detail coming up in a moment. Right now, our Gateway Subaru camera in Ocean City. We're holding at about 55 degrees with the winds out of the southeast at about 3 miles per hour. Now, we're going to fall back and forth in the 50s, mid to upper 50s throughout the rest of the evening with partly cloudy skies and really pretty decent conditions. We started off this morning relatively mild, and we started off well into the mid to upper 40s, generally speaking, for the entire Delmarva Peninsula. Now, compare this to our normal numbers, 64 for the high, 43 for the low. We ended up getting up to about 75 degrees for the high. It wasn't 86, which is a record, but this was warm nonetheless. 71 for the high in Ocean City, 1 degree warmer than that in Wallops Island. But we have the coastal flood advisories still active until 1 o'clock in the morning for all of Sussex as well as Kent County. In addition to that, we now have a newly issued gale wind watch. Now, what that means is gale wind watches are talking about 35 mile per hour wind gusts. So it's stronger than the small craft advisory, which means the waves are more vicious, genuinely vicious, with a gale wind watch, okay? Stationary boundary to our north, and we have some rain that's going to be approaching us from the west. But this flooding is really more so tied into what's happening with the high tides late at night and in the early morning hours. Now, if you're sneezing and wheezing, I sympathize with you first and foremost. Secondly, blame the trees, not me, okay? And we have a medium amount of measurement as far as the grass is concerned for today. Now, our temps, we're really still mild. I mean, we're at 59 degrees in Indian River Inlet as well as Bethany Beach and 73 in Redden, 68 in Milton. But that's still very mild because, we're about 3 to 6 to even 9 degrees warmer now than we were this same time yesterday. And with the winds pushing out to the south, that's a nice inviting breeze, a little bit of moisture coming off the water, and it's coming out to the south. Power walk forecast for tomorrow morning. We may catch a little sprinkle in the early morning hours if you're one of those 5 o'clock walkers. And by the way, if you get up that early to exercise, you got my respect. I won't join you, but I'll root for you from the sideline, okay? I'm right in this 9 o'clock range. That's a good day for me, okay? And we're looking at temperatures in the 70s again as we're going to tomorrow. The amount of rain is not going to be all that impressive, actually. We're looking for maybe about 3/4 of an inch of rain by the time we get to Friday. But keep in mind, Wednesday, we start off with temperatures in the 70s. Then we go into 70s by the afternoon. And for Thursday, we start off in the 60s and we end up in the 60s most of the day because it's going to kind of stay cloudy anyhow. By the way, for Thursday, look for that wall of rain to come through. It's Thursday night going into Friday, and that's when we'll get that 3/4 of an inch of rain likely for our neck of the woods. So rainy on Friday for Wallops Island and Assateague with temperature of 60 degrees. Rainy on Thursday for South Bethany and in Ocean City. And also the same for us in Dewey Beach as well as Cape Henlopen. Rounding up the forecast, 57 for tonight as the clouds stay thick. Scattered showers, iffy for tomorrow, but really Thursday, that's when those rain showers really kick in. Here's a look at your Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling Extended Forecast.
Thank you very much. In sports, the Shorebirds play their home opener tonight at Purdue Stadium.
Delmarva Sports Network's Tim Nolan live from the ballpark to preview tonight's matchup. Tim, big year for the team.
Well, Charlie, if you've been paying attention to this Orioles organization as a whole, the bar's been set very high offensively in the early series. The Orioles scored 11 on opening day. AA Bowie played in 19 runs in the second game of the season, and AAA Norfolk scored 26 a week ago. A lot of those games that came around to score, they started right here on this field at Purdue Stadium, including Jackson Holliday, who made his Shorebirds debut last year in the home opener as a 19-year-old. So who are some teenagers who can bring some pop this year? Good place to start would be the Orioles' number 13 prospect, Braylon Tavera. He signed a $1.7 million international bonus, the most the Orioles have ever given to an international prospect. He'll be facing Jettix and Paez for the Salem Red Sox. Meanwhile, Riley Cooper gets the ball for the Shorebirds. First pitch in this one is slated for 7:05 p.m. tonight, and you'll see us with a recap coming up later on tonight at 11 p.m. We've also got plenty more coming up, so make sure you lock onto our social at Delmarva Sports. We'll keep those updates going on throughout the ball game on Twitter. Live from Purdue Stadium, Tim Nolan, DSN.
Can't wait to see it. Heading to the coast now, the Maryland Department of Natural Resources accepting applications for marina pump-out grants. Essentially, these grants support the operations and the maintenance of marine sewage pump-out stations. Those pump-out stations offer boaters a way of disposing their sewage, helping to prevent contamination of Maryland waters. The deadline to apply is April 15th.
If you're looking for a way to celebrate Earth Day, head down to Berlin. The town's got quite the opportunity. It will be holding an event Saturday, April 20th, for locals to help clean up the town. If you're interested, folks are being asked to meet at the Berlin Welcome Center at 8:30 a.m. That's taking place from 9 a.m. to noon. Let's do one more look at our Coast TV poll. We want to know who you think should determine tree removal when those trees conflict with power lines. A large majority have been saying the power company. That has changed ever so slightly down now, with a little bit more to depends on the situation. Well, we will still be running this poll all evening and have updated results on Coast TV News at 11, so go ahead and vote. We'll be right back.
Our soldiers are heroes who protect our country. But when they come home, it's up to us to help our heroes. Now, during FH Fur's Spring Into Giving campaign, for every $29 cooling system tune-up we perform, we'll donate that amount directly to Wounded Warrior Project. FH Fur Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electrical. Call 877-CALL-FUR or visit FHFur.com to schedule your $29 cooling system tune-up. And use hashtag SpringIntoGiving to share how you're giving back.
Download the DSN app today. Driven by Preston Automotive Group.
Open 6 days a week with convenient hours. Call and schedule your appointment today.
My life experiences are woven into the fabric of who I am.
There's a lot of us out here been through this, and there's a lot of us who've gotten to the other side.
I think the story has to be told. I'm not a person to be dealt with, I'm a person to be embraced.
I use my own story. It's helping my PTSD as well as theirs.
If we're sharing our stories and if it reaches one person and they seek help, it's all worth it.
On the next wheel, we've got excitement, sweet HSN prizes, and close calls.
Tuesday at 7 on CoastTV.
Janelle James and William Stanford Davis.
I met Steven Spielberg.
You didn't introduce him to me?
I did not introduce you.
Wednesday at 2 on CoastTV.
Get ready for 4 days of fun in the sun at Springfest. Enjoy amazing food, live entertainment, unique artisan products, and more. With over 200 artisan vendors, local food, and enhanced selections of beer and wine, don't miss this free event located at the Ocean City Inlet from May 2nd through the 5th. Springfest features 2 stages and more than 30 live performances, including headliners, The Olivia Show, a tribute to Olivia Newton-John, country music sensation Lauren Elena, and alternative rock band Everclear. Don't miss out. Get all the details at ococean.com/springfest.
WRDE First Alert Weather, brought to you by Ocean City, Maryland.
I have been loving Lewis in Bloom this spring, and get this, as part of the ongoing Lewis Tulip celebration, this Saturday you can take part in History in Bloom tours with the Lewis Historical Society. These 60-minute tours will provide people with Lewis's rich maritime history. Tours depart from the Cannonball House rear garden behind 118 Front Street.
And I like the fact that you can hear everything and going through the whole. It's actually pretty cool, to be honest. Not a bad date idea either. All right, take a look. Courtesy of our Tyndall Casual Furniture camera on Ocean City, we're looking for, well, first of all, it's absolutely gorgeous staying that way, and we anticipate staying in the 50s for the rest of the night. Now, the irony is, because of the cloud cover that we're experiencing right now, we're not expecting for the temperatures to dip too much because the cloud cover is going to act like, well, a kind of a cover and keep the warmth that we accumulated throughout the day close to the ground. It's really an exchange of radiational heat. But we are going to continue to be mindful of some coastal flood advisories that will stay in effect until the early morning hours, and this is a gale wind watch. We're watching out for about 35-mile-per-hour wind gusts, so be mindful of that. Seas are kind of vicious right now. Here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. Now, I'm going to call for a first alert day force on Thursday, but it's really Thursday night, leaning into Friday morning, because that's when the winds are going to pick up, and we're looking at about 3/4 of an inch of rain. Not quite a full inch, but we're in that category of that yellow alert.
Paul, thank you, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 6.
For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
NBC Nightly News is coming up next.
And we'll see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 11. Have a great evening.